So on the old Daimler, um, yeah, I rebuilt the car many years ago. In fact, it was in the 80s. Tatton Park label over there. I think it was the first year I had the car on the road. So it was 82. So it's a fair while ago. Um, but I've never had the panel that goes across the back of the petrol tank. The petrol tank was new when I rebuilt the car. The old one having rusted out, of course. But so I've never actually had the sort of cardboard or glorified cardboard panel that hides the fuel tank. So the plan is to put one in. I bought some material from Woolies, and it should be big enough. And some screws I've already got. So I will try and make a panel that fits that. Well, the rest of the car is all a bit shabby in here, but it's all good. There's the cover for the spare wheel. I'll give that a pump up when I'm at it. So I've lost some paint down there, but nothing too serious. Obviously the fuel line cuts through over there. I put a copper fuel line in when I restored it, so that's not going to rust easily. But yeah, I also need to cut out for that in the panel, and the panel can screw here, I believe, onto this lip, and obviously down here, and along the bottom there's remains of a screw there and there. So I guess I can get those out and replace them. When I first got the car on the road, I got the trim done by a former Aston Martin guy in Milton Keynes, and he made up this carpet, which is trimmed with PVC by the looks of it, which is cracked around the edges over the years, but that's still usable. So I've given it a vacuum. I'll put that back in. And clearing out the boot, I found this, which just looks to be a plectrum, which is really weird. I don't play a guitar. I don't know anybody that does, really. So goodness knows how that got in there. Still, all good stuff. The fuel pump, by the way, is over there together with an old-fashioned extending aerial. I never put the original fuel pump back in. I put an electronic one straight in. I've replaced the seal in that. It started leaking some years ago now, so I put another O-ring in it to seal that. And again, it seems to be working fine. So that's been reliable over all these years. Trying to get these rusted screws out. Let's get out the light. There's one here. This one, using these end nipper, what these are called now, the Nipex pliers. The washer has crushed the washer, and then of course the screw snapped off. It's just rusted into the glass fibre. Let's go try this one as well, see if it does the same thing. I suspect it's going to. I'm not even bothering to try and use a screwdriver, it's just hopelessly rusted. So yeah, there's the washer. What's left of it, the cup washer, and then the screw itself. Yeah, snapped off. So yeah, that's just snapped off as well. Hopeless. I think I'm probably going to have to drill holes elsewhere alongside these positions. See some sort of space there behind that. There wasn't behind this one, or maybe there was. Maybe that's a bit of the original panel. I think it probably is. I think it's just been torn out brutally. Not by me, I don't think. It's a bit bent. Anyway, I'll carry on taking the remaining ones out. Well, what do you know? The top one, on the top right, came out in one piece. The cut washer is slightly scratched, but the others are just they just snapped off, and I've crushed the washers. I guess that one at the top was relatively dry compared to the ones lower down, which are exposed to the outside world behind the rear axle. Anyway, that's how I'll probably replace, well, I obviously will replace them all, but I'll probably put them in new holes as well. Okay, so this is the new material. So it's just glorified cardboard basically, but it's pretty tough. It's quite difficult to cut. Anyway, I'm gonna. It's cut to roughly the right width. But the trouble is, of course, there's a curve on the top here. So I wonder if I can use these dividers to follow the curve. So there I get that pretty much to the edge in the center. That's the filler of the fuel tank. So that is the center. See there, it's pretty much on that edge. If I carry on to the side, it ends up down here. Yeah, that's working pretty well. I can see that mark. So if I do the same on the other side, I can cut that out. Yeah, so this is the board. It's some sort of fibre board with this grained finish on it. It does seem to cut with scissors. It's quite stiff. Difficult, but these Fiskar professional scissors allegedly seem to work. So yeah, that top curve seems to have worked out okay. I need to work out now where the supports are at the bottom with respect to that top edge. So yeah, so it needs to come down to here basically. I need that distance. I'm going to go from the centre because I realised these supports are for the spare wheel cover, so I don't need to worry about those in terms of this panel. The panel just needs to come down to this line. So if I work out where that is with respect to the centre, I can cut that to size. So that is 145, sorry, 450 mil. Yeah, 450 mil is fine. Alright, let's give that a go. Obviously I'll tidy up these wires a bit before I put the cover back on. I was able to cut this bottom edge with a Stanley knife type thing, and yeah, that needs to be there. That is the right length now, so that's good. Just need to work out the sides and should be ready to screw it in place. Okay, this has gone reasonably well. I've cut got a slot here for the petrol pipe, which when that's screwed in place should be right, I think. Yeah, great, I think I'm there. I just work out how to get the screws in place and should be good to go. I've got these fairly chunky screws which should bite into the glass fibre okay, and cut washers. These are all stainless steel, so should be right. Okay, so these screws look to be about 4¼ mil. So I've got a 3 mil hole here into the glass fibre. See if this will take. Oh, seems okay. Okay, so there's 6 screws in, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. There's no point in putting them in for the sake of it. It's pretty robust now, and so it looks a bit better than it did before. So I put the cover in for the spare wheel, and yeah, that looks much better than it did before. was quite happy with that. And I finally got it done after all these years. Anyway, thanks for watching.